you please help me out to solve a mains question from geography?
Okay, we'll take a question from 2023 mains. Okay,
Okay.
so in 2023 we had many general type of questions and some specific questions also. Okay, so we'll take this question. So the question goes like this. It's more related to our GS3 also, environment also. The question is, identify and discuss the factors responsible for diversity of natural vegetation in India. Okay, this is the first part of the question. Identify and discuss the factors responsible for the diversity of natural vegetation in India. Assess the significance of wildlife sanctuaries in rainforest regions of India. This is the same question. Okay, so identify and discuss the factors responsible for the diversity of natural vegetation in India and assess the significance of wildlife sanctuaries in rainforest regions of India. So it's a 50-mark question. So we want to write in 250 words. So if you consider this question, we can divide the question into two parts. The first part is regarding the factors responsible for the diversity of natural vegetation in India. Second part is regarding the significance of wildlife sanctuaries in the rainforest regions of India. So if you want to mark the keywords of the questions, it includes the factors responsible for diversity, natural vegetation of India, then significance of wildlife sanctuaries, rainforest regions of India. And if you look at the directives, we need to identify and discuss in the first part. In second part, we want to assess. So we need to write the question answer in three papers, right? Three sides of the papers. So what all things we need to include? We need an introduction. We need to write the first part, that is the discussing the factors responsible for the natural vegetation, and it's a geography question, so we need to draw a map. Then we need to write the second part, that is the assessing the significance of wildlife sanctuaries, then a conclusion. Okay, so this much things should be occupied in your three sides of your paper. So like when if you're making a plan for the answer, if you are making a structure for the answer, obviously the introduction will take around like 2-3 lines. The map will cover other like a paragraph worth size, and we can write 6 or 7 points from the first part, 6 or 7 points from the second part. Introduction again 2-3 lines. So that would be enough, isn't it? And if you are getting enough space, or if you are getting more space, we can add something regarding the challenges faced by this natural vegetation. Okay, so starting with the introduction part. So it's regarding the natural vegetation of India. We know that India is a diverse country. So how can we introduce? We can say that, like, we know that India is one of the 12 biodiverse nation, mega biodiverse nation of India, of the world, or India is 10th in the case of plant diversity in the world. So you can write such points to show the diversity of India. So we have set the plot. Now you have to write the first part, that is regarding the factors responsible for the diversity of natural vegetation of India. So we have several factors. Remember, it's not a GS3 question, it is GS1 question. So we need to focus more on the geographical aspects. So if you're looking at the factors responsible, we can say topographical factors are there, climatic factors are there, anthropogenic factors are there, then monsoon influences there. So all these things we can include, but the directive says identify and discuss. So we have identified the factors. Now we want to discuss this. So if you take the topographical factors, so what are the topographical factors? We can say like if you look at the Indian topography, we have mountains, we have plateaus, we have plains, we have islands, we have deserts. All these regions will be having different vegetation. And it will be also good if you could quote some examples. For example, the Thar region, we can see the thorny bushes. In the Himalayan region, we can see the mountain type of forest. So with that pack, you can write the first part, that is the topographical factors. If you look at the climatic factors, we know that India is having a tropical monsoon type of climate. Within the climate, you can include the coastal region as well as the continental interior. We have the desert type of climate in the western part of India. We have the rainforest type of climate, or the equatorial type of forest with a good rainfall in the northeastern part of India and the western Ghats. So include all these things along with some examples. For example, the rainforest in the Meghalaya region, or the thorny forest in the Thar Reserve region. Again, you can quote examples. Then we can also write regarding the soil composition. Next point is the soil composition. So we have the topographical factors, we have the climatic factors. Next is the soil composition. So depending upon the type of soil, again the vegetation map varies. For example, if you are considering the peaty soil or the marshy soil, along those regions we have the mangrove vegetation. You can quote some examples. Then we can say the anthropogenic interventions, like the human interventions. In some regions, we are artificially making forest. We are artificially building forest. So these factors we can write. We get around 5 factors. Like we give a discussion about these each factor. So it will carry around like 3/4 of a page or one part of or one full page. Then it would be good if you can draw a map of India and show this diversity of forest. For example, in India, we have the tropical evergreen forest, we have the moist evergreen forest, dry evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorny forest, montane forest. So draw a map of India. In the hilly regions, you can mark the montane forest. In the desert dry regions and also the central part of India, we can see the thorny forest. You can mark the thorny forest. You can mark the evergreen forest in the northeast India and western Ghats. And remaining part, you can mark the deciduous forest. So the map is set. So we have written the first part of the question, which includes the factors responsible for the diversity of the forest and also the map also included. Now the second part is the significance of wildlife sanctuary in rainforest regions of India. Remember, the question is not regarding the significance of wildlife sanctuary. We need to specify it to the rainforests of India. So we have the rainforest in the northeastern part as well as the western Ghats. So what are the significance? It provides, like, we know what is the significance. The common points, like the rainforest conservation is taking place. These wildlife sanctuary give utmost protection to the rainforest regions of India. You can quote the examples of the Manas Wildlife Sanctuary or any wildlife sanctuary, Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. You can quote. Then it protects the biodiversity. Okay, biodiversity in the, like, for example, if you got the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary itself, we can give the examples of tigers, Asiatic elephants, etc. It reduces human-animal conflict. It also increases the potential for tourism also. Like we know that most of the wildlife sanctuaries are also tourist destinations. Then we can write a point like for the research and development also these things are used. For example, I think Agumpe Wildlife Sanctuary is used for research purposes. So these are the significance of wildlife sanctuary. So again, you get 5 to 6 points. So if you have written these much points, almost your answer will be done. In case if you are getting more space, you can deal with the challenges associated with the wildlife sanctuaries or the challenges associated with the natural vegetation. We can see the challenges. We can see the natural challenges like climatic changes taking place. Then variation in monsoon is another reason. Forest fire is another reason. And also in the anthropogenic challenges, you can say deforestation due to development. Then you can write the irresponsible tourism or slash and burn agriculture. These challenges can also be said. Now we want to conclude, and we want to conclude in a positive aspect. So we can say what is the significance of protecting this vegetation. For example, we are aiming that India is aiming for around 33% to be the forest cover, isn't it? We are aiming to have 33% of forest cover by 2030, or we are going as per the Bond challenge also. So we can quote either of these points and conclude the answer. Okay. So when you're writing such a question in geography, do you feel like many of the topics are interlinked with the GS3 part, maybe in the economic development part or the environment part? But whenever you're writing an geography GS1 answer, make sure you are hitting the geographical perspective. You are using the words like topography, climate, monsoon. That is very significant. And along with that, if there is a possibility to draw map, you should be drawing map. Okay. And if you're having a good idea regarding the wildlife sanctuaries, you can also draw a small map and mark the wildlife sanctuaries in the rainforest region. For example, the Manas Wildlife Sanctuary or Kaziranga, it's a national park. Then the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, that things can be drawn and marked on the map also in case if you are getting space and time. Okay. So that will give a good mark for this particular question.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It was very helpful.
Thank you.